If I had to guesstimate, you're looking at over 10 billion.
What's happening, people? My name is Robbie and today we are talking watches, but not watches like this little tag or even this little Fitbit that I've got on the other wrist. These are serious watches. This is a reaction video and today we are reacting to another video by Jordan Welch. I have reacted to one of his videos before. They're very entertaining. They talk about business, finance, investing, sometimes cars. And today he's talking about watches. He's speaking to a man called Roman Sharf. I know this because I've seen the thumbnail, and the thumbnail has some serious watches in it, which is what drew my attention. That and the title. The title is how he makes $150 million per year, which I don't believe. I think that's bullshit. Not bullshit, I think that's an exaggeration. I think that is probably going to be referring to his turnover and not his profit. For example, he might buy a watch for $20,000 and sell it for $21,000. He's made $1,000 in profit on that one item, not taking into account his expenses. But the turnover is 21,000. So with the watches of this caliber, he could definitely rack up 150 million in turnover, but that's not profit. That's not how much he makes. I might be wrong though. He might make $150 million in profit and take home pay a year. Who knows? I doubt that. Either way, let's get straight in. I want to see how Roman Sharf makes $150 million per year.
Meet Roman. He came from nothing to building a jewelry empire that makes over 150 million a year. And today he's gonna show me exactly how he did it.
What's up, Roman? How you doing today?
Good to see you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. So where are we at today?
We're at the Miami Antique Beach Show, as they call it. It's a luxury jewelry, watches, and antique show that happens once a year.
How much money do you think is in this building right now in jewelry, antiques, watches?
If I had to guess,
Before he says his answer, I want to guess. If it's jewelry as well as watches and things like that, 30 million. $30 million.
estimate you're looking at over 10 billion in inventory in this.
I thought my guess was probably maybe a little high. That cannot be right. Did he say 10 billion plus? I don't understand that number.
Building right now. And you have a booth dedicated to your products as well, right?
Yeah, we're selling watches and jewelry at the show. I bring about 40 million with me.
Well, let's go check it out.
He alone has $40 million worth of watches with him. I thought the whole place might have 30 million. He has 40 million with him. What is happening here?
Come on, let's go.
What's one of the craziest pieces you have with you here today, if you could show us?
Wow. So you look at a showcase like this, these are RoleXes that are 250,000 and up, APs that are $750,000, right? What we try to specialize is the stuff that no other dealer has.
So this box right here, what would you say is all together?
I can tell you real quick. About 2.5 million. I have a few of these.
He's got a couple boxes just laying around.
If you want to really flex, you can put this on. This watch originally retailed for $1,650,000. It was a piece unique. There's only one of these in the world.
It's $1 million watch. What's my price?
You can wear it for a minute, rock it around.
What is that? I don't know what that is. Is it a Jaeger LeCoultre? That wasn't the correct pronunciation. I'm not French and I don't speak French. Is that what kind of watch it is though?
On the show and bring it back.
Wow. Roman said it's a house on your wrist right here. A nice house, by the way.
Well, there's a few nice houses on your wrist that are in here.
And where's your business actually based?
Didn't even tell us. I didn't need to try and speak French. That's embarrassing.
Based out of?
Right outside of Philadelphia.
So you guys have an office, warehouse?
We have a 20,000 square foot office, and when you guys come to visit, I'm going to show you something special that's hanging off the wall.
Okay, for sure. Well, maybe I think we should hang out here a little longer, and maybe we can watch you make some deals and learn a little bit more about the business.
Look at the size of the safe that they've brought with them. Like, this is in a convention centre. Obviously, you need a safe, I suppose, but look at the size of the thing. It's like a bank vault.
You got it. Sometimes you got to come out of your booth, especially when you want to make a $2 million sale, and you got to walk to your sale. Yeah.
You want over $1 million? You know we have a white one now.
But you're without the crown, yeah.
I can buy it.
I know, Dave.
I see if it doesn't.
Okay, thank you so much. The most valuable thing in this business is your word.
Yeah.
And your reputation.
Oh, we got another deal.
How many pieces together?
29 watches. Take 50 grand.
I'll write you a check for 30 grand, and I'll take these off your hand. You continue selling these?
Ones, those are
They're not that epic, Jimmy. Let me think about it. But 35 is my offer. It stands, all right?
I won.
He got it. How
I
much
knew
you
I'd
got,
get him.
How much you got the box for?
Remember what I offered him? I got it for what I got. I won. Alright, but I wanted to do what
Did that say 35 grand? What did they get for 35 grand? One watch? Because that was a box. I'm completely lost. I think I'd be a terrible watch dealer.
I do want to do something. Since Jordan helped me make a deal, you keep one. Wow! For real? Yeah, let's go.
Bullshit. There's no way he's letting him just keep a watch. No chance. I don't even care if he has $30 million worth of watches with him. That's lies.
Jordan, you now own a Jacob & Co.
Yes, sir.
From the one and only.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Consider it a souvenir.
Well, I want to check out your headquarters. I want to see.
Is it fake? That's lies. He's not allowed to keep that watch. I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it.
We actually run this business because you told me how much you're making per year out there.
We're doing 150 million a year.
Yeah, I want to learn how you got there because I know you didn't start like this, and I really want to get into your story. So I'll let you enjoy your day, and we'll head over there and see you over there.
See you later.
We just arrived in Philly, and we're headed to Roman's office right now. But if you're new to the channel, my name's Jordan, and I'm on a mission to meet the world's most interesting entrepreneurs. I'm on the road to 1 million subscribers right now, so make sure to help me out by hitting that subscribe button. For now, let's go check it out.
And this is my opportunity to plug my own channel because I forgot to do it at the start, and I always forget to do it at the start. My target is not 1 million subscribers, it's 4,000. 4,000, that's easy. Last video got around 950 views, so if everyone subscribed from that video, I'd be a lot closer. I'm currently on 1,463, so I still need 2,000. My brain is frazzled, I've been working all day. 2,537, that's what I need. So if you have not subscribed to this video already, please do. I make plenty of videos, one a week, some reaction videos, some business, finance, investing, watches, cars, the whole shebang. So, do it.
Made it to the office. Roman! Yo! Hey, there he is, man.
Come on up.
He must be making bread. Look at the size of the office building. He has a Formula 1 car hanging from the ceiling.
Crazy, check that out.
See?
Good to see you again. We made it to your city.
Living the dream.
Come on.
Welcome to Philadelphia.
Yeah. So where are we at right now?
Well, you skip downstairs, which is where all the stuff is, but
Got you.
I guess I'll show you the upstairs real quick first.
So how many people in total do you have here working with you?
At this point, we have about 35 people here. We also have an office in Hong Kong. We have a couple of people there as well.
So everybody plays their role here, but what's your day-to-day like working here?
I usually come in, I'll do my morning rounds. I'll talk to my COO, I'll talk to my team leaders, I'll talk to my sales manager, I'll talk to my logistics manager downstairs. You'll meet her in a second. And I look at any and all issues and tasks that are in place. Everything that's done here is done by a process. And because it started with me and only me in the basement, I was marketing, shipping, delivering, I was everything, right? So, but I realized early on how important it is to have process in everything that you do.
So you said you started as a one-man operation. I want to talk more about that and how you got to this level. But first, can you take me around and show me some of the coolest stuff in this office? Because it's pretty crazy, bro. Where'd this come from?
So I'm an F1 fanatic.
That's the stuff that interests me the most. I don't know why I shouted there. That's the stuff that interests me the most is the starting story. This is cool, but I can't connect the dots between my situation, for example, which I'm like just a normal person, to $150 million a year in sales, big office building, an office in Hong Kong. I struggle to connect the dots there for some reason, unless I hear the story. So how did you get from... Did he buy one watch and then flip it on for maybe $500 profit and then roll that into the next one? How long did that take? Very curious, very interested in those types of stories.
I set a budget in place of like $200,000 and I said, okay, I'll bid on a car. Somehow we ended up winning this car in auction, brought it in by pieces, assembled it back. We kind of parked it on the floor first. They had to build this podium. It was like a 3-month project. Speaking of process, right?
This is the vault right here.
So this is the vault. This is where we keep all the stuff. You're looking at about 30 million in here, right?
How much volume you guys do in a day in watches?
So if you got to figure, we do roughly this year, we're going to hit about 150 million in sales.
Yeah.
So on a monthly basis, you're looking at 11 to 12 million dollars in sales.
Wow.
So on a weekly basis, $3 to $4 million worth of stuff, which can be a very impressive number if you're talking about, you know, a Rolex that sells for about $5,000, such as this one, for example.
But you got some watches that are going for hundreds of thousands.
I'll give you a better one.
Okay.
Here, you can hold. This is $1.3 million.
$1.3 million right here. What's the majority of the stuff that you actually sell?
I find that crazy that obviously if you buy a luxury watch, it'll be presented to you when you buy it. It'll come in a nice box with all the paperwork, the receipts. It's part of the package, if you like. But when you are trading watches between dealers, I've learned this from seeing a few other videos from a few other watch dealers. For example, that's a Patek for $1.25, I think he said. $1.25 million, I think is what he said there. And it comes in a little cardboard sleeve. That's apparently how a lot of these watches are transported and traded and stuff like that. Then you put it in the box when a customer buys it. If it's business to business, apparently a lot of it is done in boxes and packaging like that, which seems very lackluster. If you spend, or if I was to spend over $1 million on a watch, I mean, I would want the box to have some champagne coming alongside it and all sorts, but that's maybe a high expectation because I can't afford a watch like that. So I don't know what the service is like when you buy a watch like that. I would expect it to be more than a cardboard sleeve that looks like it would maybe have a Casio watch in it. Not that there's anything wrong with a Casio. They are God tier after all.
Is it like date just like simple watches? Is it really the crazier ones? Like, what do you specialize in?
So our specialty is actually the rare stuff, the more complicated stuff, the expensive stuff. To sell expensive watches, you have to have expensive watches. So, and you have to have balls to be able to go out there, actually spend $500,000 on a watch and find a client to spend, you know, $550, $600 on it.
Yeah. You didn't start with the money to get into this level of expensive watches. So I want to go back out and I want to talk a little bit about how you were able to get to this level, if you don't mind. What was it like growing up for you?
My dad had $4 in his pocket. We grew up in an apartment no bigger than my office, 4 of us. We came to Brooklyn, New York. I realized that they were paying 5 cents for soda cans. So me and another kid that was in the same building as me, we went out there, collected a bunch of cans, got $5. Went and bought a slice of pizza, it was great. Then my dad got a job in Philadelphia. After that, I got into construction. I did roofing, I did plumbing. I drove a bagel truck. I worked, telemarketing. At 16, I was making like $300 a week.
What do you think ignited you to want to go out there and make money? Was it seeing your family struggle?
It always seems to be, or not always, but quite often it seems to be people who have successful businesses started from relatively low means. Not a lot of money, not a lot of family wealth, maybe a lot of people all in the one small house or apartment. Presumably that sort of creates the drive to create a business, push forward. But I find that interesting. Again, always more interesting to hear how someone has created a business and got to where they are from nothing or relatively low amounts of money, wealth, and got to the stage that they are, compared to if his dad was a multi-millionaire and he borrowed $100,000 from his dad to start the business or whatever. That's less exciting. This is more interesting to me personally. It's probably because I can associate with it a little bit more though.
Here's what ignited me the most. When my dad said, you know what, I'm going to leave all this behind because I want a better future for my kids, I felt almost responsible to succeed because my dad left everything he's ever made there in order to come here to create a better life for us. And that's what has driven me then, and that's what still drives me till this day. For someone who is young and has $0 in your pocket, if you have the will and you have the drive, you don't need money. You don't need connections. Yeah. You can go out there, get connections. You can go out there, get the money. You can start small, and you can grow little by little. When I started the watch business, I had $12,000. Now we're a $150 million company.
Yeah, so it's a perfect testament to what's possible. I want to ask you a couple more questions. Sure. We'll go through the office, but I really want to know about the watch business and if it's something that people can get into. What was the key from going to making that first $1 million in your business to now doing over 9 figures a year? What changed?
I think what really took us to the next level originally was wholesale. The wholesale market.
Surely a loan. Surely some sort of outside investment or an investor who's just investing for a fixed return. He has not scaled up $12,000 into 150 million. Surely. It would be very impressive if he has, but I mean, that would be on another level. Especially because he's not that old. He's not like Warren Buffett age.
Usually bigger in terms of volume, right? Some people buy one fancy watch in a lifetime. B2B, there's daily transactions that go on. How do you take advantage of that? You go out there, you find those wholesale deals, and you simply start flipping more and more. That's how we got to the first 100 million.
Yeah, to do that successfully, one of the things I noticed about you is you are a master negotiator. You know how to get a deal done. What goes into making a great negotiation?
It's in the body. So long as you have your finger on the pulse and know what something is worth, I don't care what business you're in. If you know how much this bottle of water is worth,
Yeah.
and you have that knowledge, and your knowledge is better than the next guy, you're going to be successful.
We bought that big box of Jacob watches when we were at the event together. How's that deal been going?
So
Sold them all?
the entire
For how much?
we sold the entire deal for 42 grand.
A lot of people might look at you like somebody that has made it and hasn't had that many failures in their career. In the process of building this business, was there
He sold the entire deal for 42 grand. How many watches were in the box? He bought it for 35, sold it for 42, but he's dealing in really high-end watches. So that sounds like a one-watch deal, but it was a big box. I suppose we probably won't find out the answer to that, but again, curious.
ever a moment where you almost lost everything?
Yeah, 2008, the crisis. You were still a kid, but '08 was a real world financial crisis, and the wheels stopped. And by wheels stopping, I mean the business just took a pause, where all of a sudden, no wholesale business, no retail business. People were afraid. The minute there's uncertainty in any given market, people stop. What do they stop? They stop spending money. It was a scary moment, but it was also a moment that taught me something, and that is cash is king.
How low did it get? How close were you to having to give up on this thing?
Well, here's the thing is, luckily, I got lucky because I knew I can go right back into the basement, I can hustle, I can make a few $1,000s a month, no problem. But luckily, post any kind of a financial crisis or kind of financial shift, you tend to have a boost and business tends to go through the roof right after, especially in the luxury industry.
My last question is that for anybody out there that's watching that might be at that moment where things aren't going too well and they're kind of struggling, what would you say to them? Because a lot of people feel stuck right now in their life and they see you and they're inspired by you. What would you say to somebody that's in that position right now?
Honestly, I would tell them the same thing I tell every single one of my salespeople out there. So no matter what you got going on in life, I don't care if your car broke, I don't care if you have enough money for gas, I don't care what it is. Just remember tomorrow's a new day that you can start fresh. So if you go to sleep every night telling you that, hey, this day is written off and tomorrow you start fresh with the same mentality, the same motivation, I don't care what you want to do for a living, you're going to succeed.
Good advice. Very good advice. I've experienced plenty of stresses and had my fair share of bad days. And trying to make the effort of waking up the next morning as a fresh start. Today's the day that I'm going to do X, Y, and Z. Yesterday has already happened. There's nothing I can do to change that. It's difficult, especially given certain circumstances. If you've just lost your job, it's hard to get up the following Monday and get straight back into it. But that's what you need to do. So that's really good advice. And that applies to anything. Absolutely anything. That applies to health and fitness. If you're a football player and you've injured your leg, you're not going to get up on Monday morning and eat rubbish, watch Netflix all day. You're probably going to hit the gym and exercise other parts of your body that aren't your leg. Or maybe try and walk 100 feet to see what your benchmark is, and then the next day walk 110. That's what you've got to do in life. You've got to keep moving forward, regardless of the situation or the circumstances. Just going to have a quick nosy at the comments now, see if there's anything that anyone has picked up on that I haven't, or if anybody agrees with anything that I've said. I have a feeling, because a lot of the comments on these style of videos are all quite positive, a lot of people feeling motivated by the video, so I think that's probably going to be the case. I don't think there's going to be anything controversial. I mean, literally every single comment is positive, really positive stuff, which is what you're after. If you've made it this far in the video, comment something positive. I mean, it doesn't need to be positive about me or the video. Just comment something positive. It could be something positive about Jordan or Roman in the video. Someone has commented, he doesn't make that amount, that is his turnover per year, which is also what I said. And it's got one reply which is hidden, so it must have been nasty. So that leaves one thing left for the video, and that's just a quick reminder to subscribe to the channel. 4,000 is the target, 1,463 is what we're currently on, so we're a mile off. And we have about a year to get there, because I actually want to get there by next March. So if you haven't already, click subscribe, and I will see you next week, where I have quite an interesting video that I think a lot of people will like. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Take it easy.